Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is all about the interim bail given to the Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal. Let us start the session with the question: what is the enrichment and what are you going to get from today's session? As usual, you'll improve your comprehension skill, you'll improve your vocabulary, consolidate your grammar knowledge, improve your effective English, and at 7:30 when you join, you can work on mini mocks. Let us again ask the question, what is this about? This editorial discusses the granting of interim bail. Granting of what? Interim bail to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal by the Supreme Court of India and its implications. This is an important word. Please give me a second. Its implications, consequences, ramifications. And what is the tone of the editorial? The tone of the editorial is a thoughtful and discerning. The very first word, when we go to the editorial vocabulary, the very first word, interim, part of speech adjective, meaning temporary or provisional in the meantime. Usually we say temporary, for the time being, in the meantime. Synonyms, temporary, provisional, an important word. Transitional, also an important word, got repeated. Intervening, makeshift. Makeshift goes with a setting or a tent or a camp. Makeshift setting, makeshift tent, makeshift camp. Means temporary, you establish something. Once the work is done, you remove that. Antonyms are permanent, final, lasting, an important word, definite. Look at the example. During the interim period, a caretaker government will be in charge. Usually, this is what we say: caretaker government will be in charge. An important expression you have to remember. Stoke, also an important word, I think we have got a few times. Part of speech verb, actual meaning it goes with fire. To add fuel to a fire. This is an idiomatic expression as well. To intensify or encourage. Actual meaning to intensify something. Add fuel to the fire. Aggravate. Synonyms, kindle, an important word. Fuel, common word. Ignite, an important word. Provoke, inflame. Encourage is a positive word. Antonyms, extinguish, goes with fire. Dampen, quench, calm. But here, do remember, extinguish goes with fire. And when you take the word dampen, if you take a wall during rainy season, some walls, because of heavy rains, when you touch, you feel a little wet. Then you have to use the word damp, damp wall. This is a combination. Not wet before that. And this also goes with dampen someone's spirit or motivation. Means to bring down. Quench. Quench goes with thirst. Quench your thirst. A standard expression. Calm is a simple word. The politician's speech stoked the crowd's anger. Means people became very angry because of his words. Here you can think of words like ignite, and also one more word we have got many a time, incite, provoke. They are synonyms, important words. Undermine we have got a few times, important word. Every time you may get some new words based on synonyms, antonyms. To weaken or damage gradually, often secretly or from within. Not immediately, gradually. That you have to catch. Synonyms, weaken, sabotage, an important word. Subvert, an important word. Erode goes with a different context. I'm sure you all know the typical combination. Soil erosion. But sometimes what happens, your confidence gets eroded. It also goes with confidence. And sometimes when nothing happens, nothing works out, your confidence goes to the lowest level. Then we say touch the rock bottom. What is the verb here? Touch. His confidence has touched the rock bottom, an important expression. Antonyms, positive words, strengthen, support, bolster, important word, reinforce, that is also an important word. His constant criticism began to undermine her confidence in her abilities. Someone keeps on criticizing you, then obviously your confidence level comes down. The sentence talks about that. Undermine, weaken, or impair or damage. Abide takes a preposition by, abide by. And one important expression, we all follow the laws, then we have to say law abiding citizen. We are all law abiding citizens. To accept or act in accordance with, to tolerate. But when it comes to law, you have to recollect, I have given many a time, comply with, that is a verb form. And what is a noun form? Compliance. Synonyms, accept, comply with, see already it is there. Adhere to, an important expression. Follow, obey, endure. Endure has a different connotation. When you suffer a lot, you take that suffering, the pain. Then we say, endure the pain or endure the suffering. A different context, a different combination. Antonyms are defy. Defy means a challenge, disobey, violate, reject. Simple words. She promised to abide by the rules of the game. Abide by something, rules of the game, an important expression. Convict as a verb, same word, when it is a noun, you have to say convict. He is a convict. He has been convicted. Pronunciation changes. And I usually give, when it comes to law, crime, four words you have to know at any cost. First one is innocent. Innocent person is acquitted. Opposite, guilty. Guilty person is convicted. These four words. And the whole process is trial. And so many words I have given many a time. Convict means to find guilty of a criminal offense by a court of law. Declare guilty, synonyms. Sentence, he has been sentenced because he has been convicted. And convict, condemn, find guilty, adjudge. Adjudge is a neutral word. Does judge, adjudge, same meaning, but does not go with this context. Generally speaking, antonyms, acquit, I have already given. Exonerate, an important word. Vindicate, an important word. Exonerate means initially you blame someone, you accuse someone. After some time you stop accusing. You feel he hasn't committed crime. Then he has been exonerated, an important word. The jury, immediately have to become alert and you have to recollect the rule that goes with collective nouns. Collective nouns like committee, jury, team, staff. They usually take a singular noun, singular verb, singular pronoun. But if the sentence talks about division, they take a plural verb, a plural pronoun. The jury deliberated. Here, deliberated means they discussed seriously, deeply, for hours before finally convicting the defendant. The one who defends himself, defendant. The one who files a case, an important word many of you may not know. Plaintiff, an important word. If you file a case, you are plaintiff. If I defend myself, I am the defendant. Belated, usually it goes with wishes. Belated birthday wishes. Part of speech, adjective. Coming or happening later than should have been the case. Yesterday was someone's birthday. I forgot to wish. Today I want to wish him. I will say belated birthday wishes. Overdue, delayed, tardy is an important word. Behind schedule. Antonyms, timely, punctual, early. Example, she sent a belated birthday card to her friend. As I said, it usually goes with Birthday wishes. Probative, here you have to think of probe. That is one thing. Probe means what? Investigate. But probative part of speech adjective has a different meaning, tending to prove something. Evidential, demonstrative, corroborative, an important word. Validating, simple word. Antonyms, inconclusive, irrelevant, unproven. Example, the new evidence was highly probative in the murder investigation. Means evidential, providing some evidence, demonstrating something. Statutory, an important word. Usually you see the word that goes with this word, statutory warning. Have you ever seen this? Statutory warning, an important combination. Meaning authorized or required by statute. Statute means a written law. And you have to know the combination statute book, a written law. Synonyms legal, lawful, official, authorized, legitimate. It goes more with law. Antonyms illegal, unlawful, unauthorized. Example, the company failed to comply with statutory regulations. The company did not adhere to statutory regulations. Means the legal aspects. Flee, we have got many a time, it goes with everyday English. It goes with effective English. Part of speech verb. What is the past form? Flee, fled, fled. Meaning to run away from a place or situation of danger. When a thief sees a police, he flees. Synonyms escape, a runaway, bolt. Bolt has many meanings. As a noun, bolt to the door, that has a different, and it can also be a verb. Bolted the door, entirely different meaning. Abscond, abscond means run away. Evacuate does not go with this context. Elude also does not go with this context. Elusive, elude, it has a different connotation. Escaping, it means. Antonyms confront, come face to face. Face, remain, stay. Confront, important word. Example, the suspect fled the scene before the police arrived. As I said, it usually goes with police, thieves. That's all about the editorial vocabulary. Let us see how it starts, what the stimulus is. Here, voting for relief on interim bails and elections. You may not understand. Main idea, what is the backdrop, what is the background information? The Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal was arrested in the month of March, I think March, and now general elections on. He is a key figure at the national level, especially part of the opposition. His absence may make a negative impact, and it may not result in level playing field. Means a situation where everyone has an equal and fair chance to succeed. Based on that, on that ground, he got the interim bail. Interim bail to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal reverses damage to level playing field in polls. As I said, it's all about level playing field, creating the level playing field at the time of general elections. Level playing field means a situation where all the people who are contesting, all the persons contesting, will have a fair and equal chance to succeed. When the key figures are behind bars, it is not a level playing field. Based on that, he has got interim bail till June 1st, I suppose. In granting interim bail to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, the Supreme Court of India has reversed present perfect tense, active voice, has reversed a development that upset the level playing field for the ongoing general election. As I said, good morning, a little late. As I said, when they arrested the Delhi CM at the time of the general elections, in a way, it upset the level playing field. To reverse that damage, He got the interim bail from the Supreme Court, granted by the Supreme Court. When Mr. Kejriwal was arrested, this is past tense, passive voice. When Mr. Kejriwal was arrested in March, that's what I said, I remember. When Mr. Kejriwal was arrested in March for his alleged involvement in corruption in the formulation of a liquor policy for Delhi. Already we have got the word alleged many a time. Accusation, allegation, noun forms. Accuse verb allege, to say someone has done something, to say someone has committed crime without evidence. Then we use the word allegations, accusations. It might not have seemed an obvious setback to federalism and democracy. When an incumbent CM gets arrested, at the outset it may look like a setback to federalism and democracy. But that time when he was arrested, it might not have seemed. It's a lengthy helping verb, might not have seemed. It might have seemed, negative might not have seemed. And here, when do we use might plus have plus verb, past participle form? May or might. Might less chances, may more chances. The function of this sentence pattern, past possibility, which is a guess. Something happened in the past. I'm not quite sure how it happened. Then what do? I make a guess about the past possibility. Might not have seemed an obvious setback, clear setback to federalism and democracy. But contrasting word. The arrest of a serving chief minister, incumbent chief minister, and a key figure in the opposition when the election process was already on sent shockwaves among regional parties. There are two things over here. General elections are on, one thing, and at this juncture, if a serving chief minister or an incumbent chief minister, and not only that, besides that, a key figure in the opposition, and he has a key role to play in two states. One is Delhi, the other one is Punjab. But the arrest of a serving chief minister, one point, and a key figure in the opposition, second point, when the election process was already on, sent shockwaves among regional parties. And as he remained behind bars, past tense, it stoked the fears, means it incited or it aggravated, it added fears, more apprehensions. Stoke means adding fuel to the fire so that it become bigger. It stoked fears that states run by parties other than those in power at the center could easily be the main idea here. We have a particular party at the center. We have opposition parties not at the center. The fear, what is the apprehension when the serving CM got arrested? The apprehension, there's every possibility the CMs, the important leaders may get arrested because they are not in power, they are in the opposition. As he remained behind bars, it stoked fears. All these are apprehensions. There's one word you have to know. Fear is a simple word, apprehension. Same thing, but a feeling that something bad may happen in future. Better word would have been apprehensions. And as he remained behind bars, it stoked apprehensions that states run by parties other than those in power at the center could easily be possibility, but the chances are less. Could easily be targeted, less chances. Could easily be undermined, weakened. Here it is in passive voice, helping verb, passive voice. Could easily be undermined means weakened by getting central agencies to arrest chief ministers on charges that may or may not be based on evidence. A lengthy sentence, but in a nutshell, when the serving CM gets arrested, what are the apprehensions that come into existence or become real? Based on this, the fears are the center, with the help of the agencies, central agencies, may get chief ministers on charges, get arrested, arrest chief ministers, and on charges that may or may not be based on evidence. In this case, also, till date, no evidence. Evidence based on the statements given by those who turned as approvers. In Mr. Kejriwal's case, the court is right in both citing. Cite, you have to recollect the word quote. The general election has a good enough reason. Good enough reason. Very important expression. Big enough, intelligent enough. Answer my question. Here, the word enough, which part of speech is it? If you respond, I'll be happy. Which part of speech is enough? Good is an adjective, and here enough is an adverb. Enough can be an adjective, can be an adverb. He has enough money, adjective, not important from the exam point of view. He is rich enough, adverb, important from the exam point of view. Big enough, rich enough, intelligent enough, you have to remember the pattern. Good enough reason to grant him interim bail until June 1st. Supreme Court has granted the bail to the Delhi CM and a key opposition figure, keeping ongoing general elections in mind against the backdrop of that, and that is fair enough, good enough, the editorial opines. When the last phase of polling will be held, and in rejecting, this is the last phase, when the last phase, till June 1st, until June 1st, when the last phase of polling will be held, future tense, passive voice. They will hold elections. Elections will be held by them, passive voice, will be held. And in rejecting the center's argument that it would amount to favorable treatment to politicians. The center's objection is what? At this juncture, against this backdrop, the general elections being on, if the CM of a particular state is released, it may send wrong signals. What are the wrong signals? The court is favoring politicians, but the court hasn't agreed to that particular argument. That's why he has got interim bail. As the court has pointed out, interim release orders relate to the peculiarities associated with the person, that means Kejriwal, in question, and surrounding circumstances. One is he is a key figure in the opposition, the other he is a CM, incumbent CM. Not only that, peculiarities means peculiar means what? Strange. Usually we use the word strange. Americans use the word weird, a common word. What are those peculiarities? The absence of a notable leader from the campaign arena. Arena means what? Field. You should also recollect an important word, a realm. Also another word, sphere. The absence of a notable leader from the campaign arena, especially when he is yet to be convicted. Right now, he is a notable figure. He is not in the election campaign, and he hasn't been convicted yet. Yet to be convicted. This is a passive voice. Will be a factor that will cast a doubt on the free and fair nature of the election. Against this backdrop, if he still remains behind the bars, it casts a doubt on the free and fair nature of the election. The court has made his bail conditional, but the court hasn't given the bail just like that. The interim bail he got with some conditions, not without any strings attached, with some strings attached. Strings attached means there are some conditions. What are those conditions? The court has made his bail conditional on his keeping away from the Delhi Secretariat, one condition, and the Chief Minister's office, second condition. That means he should not act as a CM, should not sign any files. He should not enter, keep away from the Delhi Secretariat, one thing, and the Chief Minister's office, another thing. And he is to abide by his statement that he will not sign any official file. He made a statement that he will not sign any file. He should stick to that statement, adhere to that statement, and he is to abide by. He is to abide by an important pattern. She is to write a letter. He is to abide by. This pattern talks about some arrangement to do something. Based on that arrangement, based on that agreement, you are supposed to do something. She is to write a letter. According to some agreement, it is a responsibility to write a letter. According to the statement given by him, according to that, he has to keep away. He should not sign any file. And is to abide by his statement that he would not sign any official file. Unless required, imagine something very important. He has to get the approval from the Lieutenant General. Unless required to do so to get the Lieutenant General's approval for something. That Mr. Kejriwal did not respond to several summonses. An important word I have told many a time. Summons is a singular. What is a plural? Summonses they have given in a few exams. Very important, you have to remember. Noun. That Mr. Kejriwal did not respond to several summonses from the Enforcement Directorate does not show me in a good light. Means it doesn't look good. As a responsible person, being the CM of the Delhi, he should respond to the notices or summonses given by the Enforcement Directorate. But 8 or 9 times he did not respond, and it does not show him in a good light. But at the same time, it cannot be forgotten that be it the CBI's corruption charge or the ED's money laundering charge, two charges against him, the case against him is based on a belated statement made by suspects. No evidence as such, a belated statement made by suspects who had turned approvers and obtained pardon on the promise of testifying against him. Some people involved in the case turned approvers and they obtained pardon on the promise of testifying against him. This sounds a little not convincing. The probative value means evidence, providing evidence. The probative value of these statements will be tested during trial. To what extent they are valid, we will come to know during the trial. Another factor to be noted is that there are statutory restrictions under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act on seeking bail, resulting in many questioning the validity of their arrest, as Mr. Kejriwal has done, rather than file for bail. It talks about some statutory restrictions when it comes to this particular act, and based on that, usually when a person gets arrested, he requests for bail. But based on these statutory restrictions related to arresting a person, the first thing is whether the person can be arrested or not. Then comes the question getting bail or not getting bail. In this case, the same thing. That's what Kejriwal has questioned. If only courts applied the basic principle of granting bail to those who are unlikely to flee from justice with appropriate conditions to neutralize their likely influence over witnesses and to safeguard evidence, our orders granting bail would not evoke political reactions. If the court takes care of, there is every possibility the accused does not flee away, will not does not influence, does not manipulate the evidence. Nothing wrong in granting the bail. Orders granting bail would not evoke political reactions and doubts whether political class is being unduly favored. No one will say they are being unduly favored. Unduly means not deserving. That's all. It ends on that particular note. That's all about today's editorial. Join at 7:30. You can work on mock test. Thank you very much.